The winding streets of Cape Town, South Africa, are our venue for the Kazjat Championship today and our sole African representative for the year. Viewers of a certain age may remember the drama of 2 seasons ago, where that year's eventual champion Marcos Araujo Azevedo took a famous victory in the final corner of the last lap. The track itself hasn't changed at all since then. With no alternative layouts, we still have the same mix of highly challenging corners connected by 2 medium-length straights. 22 corners make up the highest number of turns on the calendar. All that's now left is to see who can handle them best. Welcome to the twists and turns of Cape Town. It is nighttime, but we have the lovely sea still rolling in. Lots of floodlights with which to race under. And an intriguing circuit that might offer a bit of a different kind of look and vibe to the ones that we've seen recently. See who's been going quickly so far. Payson and Almas. Ericsson can only manage second so far. We'll have the second lap out here. Payson and Ericsson a second ahead of everyone else. Let's see how they do against each other. Ericsson green, but not quick enough. Marty Payson taking first from Havana Ericsson. Surprise package. Cecilia Labriola in third. 16 Almas fourth. Veronique Morel fifth. Another creditable qualifying session for McLaren. Sofia Ramirez in 6th. Where are the Maple Street Motorsport drivers? Chelsea Lachesi down in 11th. And Hate Singh down in an awful 18th. That's a really not a good result for Maple Street Motorsports considering their recent performances. But anything can change and anything can happen in the race itself. Especially in such narrow and unforgiving streets as these. We'll follow off Marty Paysonen, first on the grid. Lights are out and away we go. He gets a good start. Ericsson gets a bad one. Labriola into second. Morel into third. Klein fourth. Let's stay with this corner, see if there's anything. There's nothing. Paysonen's been taken by Klein. Naomi Klein into first. Naomi Klein's into first place. Labriola now putting pressure on Marty Paysonen. Ramirez up to fourth, actually. Oh, there's multiple people have gone wide. There's a mass pile-up. There's a mass pile-up there. Multiple cars. Who got caught up? Lachesi got caught up. Contos wasn't part of it, I don't think. Almas was. Araujo Azevedo, Ericsson. Naomi Klein did as well. Labriola leads. Cecilia Labriola leads once more. Morel and Paysonen battling it out behind her. The Swiss driver leads. Hate Singh's in 5th. Oh, who's gone wide there? Oh, Labriola's gone wide. She's spun out. There's multiple pile up again. Paysonen has retaken the lead. Tarasova up to second. Schweitzer and Nasser in third and fourth. Hate Singh, in fact, scratch that. Hate Singh is now in third. Fourth. Oh, there's someone else gone wide. Was that Pallison? It was Pallison. She went straight on. Hate Singh in fourth now. Nasser, Schweitzer battling behind Ina Tarasova. This is mass chaos here in Cape Town. We'll Klein is back up to 5th somehow after being down in about 15th. She's managed to work her way through and she's overtaking Hate Singh. She's managed to make her way past. Race sprinklers are active. That's not what we need. Stewards, no. That's not what we need right now. There's mass chaos. We don't need water on the track. Klein is taking on Hate Singh. Oh, someone's gone wide. That was 2 of them. There were 2 of them. I think that was Nusrat Nasser. And the leader, whoever it was, I haven't been able to keep track. Ericsson's leading. Ericsson's made her way back. They're going under full wets further back. They anticipate this is going to be a hell of a sprinkler-heavy track. I wonder if Ericsson will stay out. She's not. She's coming straight in. But Marty Paysonen, the Rainmaster, he's staying out. He reckons he can drive along on those ultra-soft tyres. We'll watch the pits exit here. Ericsson's out first ahead of Schweitzer and Singh. Naomi Klein in 5th, Ina Tarasova 6th. Let's follow Hate Singh. He's always fun to watch in these conditions where it's wet but not yet that wet. And imperfect tyres for the time being. Oh, there we go! There we go! He follows Schweitzer straight through. Spins out at one of the first times of asking. And he's now down in 8th with Aaron Barnes behind him. Marty Paysonen coming into the pits. His job done. Very pleased with himself, no doubt. Let's see whether he gets out of this short pit lane sooner than Havana Ericsson can manage to make it round. Here she comes. And she does just take him. But Paisonen's put himself within range of her. And has the fresher tyres now. So let's catch our breath a second. Let's all breathe. And take a look at the top 10 as it stands. Havana Eriksson first. 2 seconds ahead of Matti Paisinen. Naomi Klein, who is ricocheted between first and then as low as 18th so far in this race. In third, Veronique Morel just taken Ina Tarasova for fourth, and Tarasova herself fifth. The two functional beverage racing cars of Schweitzer and Nasser 6th and 7th. Hate Singh down in 8th, followed by Aaron Barnes and Marcos Araujo Azevedo. Whew, wow, that was... so much was happening there. It was impossible to keep track of all of it. But I hope that we managed to not miss anything too gigantic. The main incidents happened pretty front and center in this night race here in Cape Town, with an absolute deluge on track right now. Really not looking good, I think, in terms of, in terms of how challenging it is, really. 29 laps to go. We've already had such carnage in 7 of them at night, with the track as wet as it is, cars aquaplaning off under the floodlights. But we'll have to see. At least they have the right tyres on now to deal with this. Araujo Azevedo under a little bit of pressure, meanwhile, from Sofia Ramirez. See whether he can hold her off here going into the roundabout chicane, and he does. Ahead of them, Aaron Barnes taking Hate Singh. This is out of the way. I'll take that, thank you very much. Boyko's Shagging Bunch Garage, no doubt extremely pleased with that. And he's making inroads on Nusrat Nasser in 7th as well. At the front, Eriksson leads Paisinen by 5 seconds, building another lead. You have to just really, almost no matter your... Lukas Schweitzer has spun out. Meanwhile, he's down to 10th. And counting, in fact, down to 14th, 15th, 16th now. No matter your affiliation, you really have to feel sorry for Havana Eriksson, whose car has let her down so much. Araujo Azevedo, on the other hand, slow on exit. He did manage to make his way past Hate Singh, but maybe got himself off the racing line a little bit, onto the spray, and lost some traction, let Hate Singh back through. Hate Singh battling for his life in these conditions. We'll follow this little group around. Ramirez will be coming in at the end of this lap, having chewed through her tyres a bit, although, mind you, look at that! What about that for a move? Makes it stick on that double apex hairpin. Ramirez trying for a move on Hate Singh, putting him under all kinds of pressure. Araujo Azevedo sees an opportunity going into the roundabout section, doesn't manage to make it stick, and now he's under pressure from Britta Pallison in 11th. And they're 3 wide going around the corner there. Araujo Azevedo is lost out. Pallison is through, as is Ramirez. Although Ramirez, no doubt, going into the pits right now. No, she stays out. She decided against it. She meant to come in, but maybe not. Maybe she reckons she can gain more from staying out for now. Matti Paisinen falling somewhat further off the pace of Havana Eriksson. As the two of them battle there. Hate Singh losing a position to Ramirez again, and Pallison's all over his back. Ramirez doing incredibly well, considering those tyres are absolutely nuked. They're in a terrible condition. Ooh, she cut that corner a bit there. I wonder whether... looks like it's just within parameters. Look at how they're bunched up they are. These ruined tyres of Ramirez. Really bunching everyone up. She's doing incredibly well. Oh, they're side by side into the pits. Wow, that's great racing. Matti Paisinen in 2nd. Klein 3rd. Morel 4th. Quite big gaps here, going all the way down to 5th, and then things start to bridge up a little bit with Nasser Singh. Oh, Nasser a little way back, and then Araujo Azevedo and Singh, who's just overtaken Hate Singh. And look at the drive Hate Singh gets out of that. That Maple Street Motorsports car is lethal out of that corner, especially. Yellow flag. Havana Eriksson spun out. Our race leader has spun out. She's still making her way back onto the track. There she is. Naomi Klein in 2nd. Ericsson's still got an advantage, but for once that's her letting the car down than the other way round. Naomi Klein will be very happy to see that. Veronique Morel in third as well won't be sad either. But the three of them, especially the first and second, have a noticeable advantage over the non-podium sitters. This would be a huge result to get Havana Ericsson's season back on track after so much bad luck and misery. Aiden Beilang has cooked his tyres entirely. He'll be coming in at the end of this lap. Zach Lucas will as well. I imagine Naranjo Azevedo will as well. He does. Look. In he comes for that. There's going to be... I mean, the sprinklers are finished, but there's still so much water on this track. Because remember, this is not a circuit. This is a street circuit. This is not purpose-built. It doesn't have the same drainage facilities as a regular circuit was. So this water is going to stay around for a long time. You'd imagine cars will be running full wets for a while yet. Naranjo Azevedo mugged coming out of the pits, actually, for his place by Britta Pallison. He will slot into 14th, just ahead of Sofia Ramirez and Zach Lucas. Let's stay with these for a little while. Naomi Klein's in the pit, meanwhile, with Veronique Morel burning through her ERS to try and cut the gap to Ericsson before the all-important round of pit stops. Naranjo Azevedo goes up the inside, puts his car alongside Pallison's. Doesn't manage to make it stick. This bus stop chicane really does sort them out into single file again, generally. Naranjo Azevedo, of course, with that famous win that he took on the very last corner in Season 1. Oh, and he's going to get challenged here on the inside. Zach Lucas trying his best there and managing it. Good move from Zach Lucas. Naomi Klein runs wide in her enthusiasm to catch the front two. Morel's in the pit. Ericsson staying out. Bold move. We'll see whether that one pays off. Especially with her tyres getting a little bit older. Morel manages to make it out in fourth. A good pit stop for her, actually. Martti Pessinen retakes third position. Ina Tarasova in fifth. Cecilia Labriola sixth, although on old tyres she'll have to pit soon. Aaron Barnes in seventh. Nusrat Nasser battling with 16 Almas for 8th place. The two Maple Street Motorsports cars in 10th and 11th. Ericsson is in the pits meanwhile and getting some repairs, so that will hold her up a little bit. Klein's coming around the bus stop chicane. They've released Ericsson. Will it be enough to keep her out in front of Naomi Klein? It will. Just about, will it? No, it won't. Oh, they're side by side going into T1. Klein makes it stick. She absolutely sent it going into T1, but Ericsson surely won't take that lying down. She's boosting a little bit of fuel efficiency there with her battery. And no doubt turned the engine up a little bit to compensate. Although maybe she's happy to sit in Klein's slipstream for a while. Harvest MG. Kontos has crashed. Kontos has gone straight onto the wall in which so many drivers have been running wide already. Ooh, let's see. How does this change the complexion of the race? Ericsson will be annoyed that it happened now. Paysonen, I wonder whether he'll want to come in. Again, there's still so much water on the track here. 3 laps of the safety car. Anyone going to be coming in? Doesn't look like it. Freya Larson, of course, in 20th does. But the 16 Almas is going to chance it and come in. Nasser will stay out. We'll see you on the other side of this break. The safety car is heading to garage. We are back. If you're wondering how 16 Almas managed to make it into first, she managed to time her pit stop extremely well and managed to make up places on it. But here they are. They're being released. The front two deploy ERS immediately and zoom off into the distance. Havana Ericsson drops down to 5th. She can't defend herself from all the ERS usage there. She'll have to hope that she can get back with that later. Ina Tarasova and Morel both overtaking her. Almas and Klein battling up front for the lead, although maybe a little bit of team orders being invoked. Never mind! What just happened to Almas? Did she go wide? I think she just went wide. That's ruined Braun Cocktail's plans. They'd played that so well. But now she's back in 11th, and Naomi Klein is going to have to go it alone up front. Toro has spun out, meanwhile, further back. Current leaderboard stand: Klein, Morel, Tarasova, Ericsson, Paysonen. Who was that who went into the... Oh, Ericsson alongside Martti Pessinen. And Paysonen... Someone went straight on. Azevedo went straight in and has just parked his car up. in the runoff zone. Went straight on. There's another safety car. Let's see how... I mean, people this might actually benefit include Aaron Barnes, who's in 8th. Naomi Klein will be coming in, so maybe her as well. Veronique Morel. Looks like lots of people are coming in. Havana Eriksson deciding against it so far. And 16 Almas likewise staying out. We'll just watch the pit lane here and see who comes in after Naomi Klein. Because I suspect it's going to be a good portion of the field. There comes Klein, there comes Morel and Paisnen, and multiple cars follow them in. Looks like Eriksson's staying out, Almas is staying out, Labriola staying out, Zach Lucas, Lucchesi, Freya Larsen, De Toro and Ramirez all staying out. Apart from that, everyone else coming in. And, interestingly, going on to intermediates, which could be a masterstroke of a time to do it, really. Because the water will finally be reducing sooner or later. Let's see whether McLaren and Braun Cocktail and Brixton Islanders have played this well. We'll see on the other side of another break. Safety car is heading to garage. We're back here in the media. What's happening there? Who's that? That Britta Parson making her way through, racing a bit quickly there. Alma's managed to take a few positions there from people. Somebody went wide and she managed to make her way through. Almas, however, under pressure from people behind her. Eriksson dealing with mechanical issues again. Who would have thought? Lucas Schweitzer spun out further back. Yellow flags and overtaking Sector 1. Eriksson making her way up to the back of 16 Almas. You would think discretion would be the better part of valor for her, but she's having none of it. The McLaren car challenging Braun Cocktail there for viability in the first, but Labriola just behind them, battling with Zach Lucas. He manages to make his way through. Labriola says no thank you to Chelsea Lucchesi behind her and makes sure she stays ahead. Many pits here as cars are now choosing to come into intermediates. They've realised that the track has not stayed wet enough for them to be on full wets, and they're coming in for intermediates. Eriksson, however, staying out on full wets. Paisnen on those intermediates has overtaken her teammate. Those intermediates looking mighty quick right now. You would imagine maybe both McLaren cars will be coming in at the end of this lap. Does help that this is such a tricky course to overtake on. Oh, as I say it though, a great move from Veronique Morel, who's flying through all of a sudden. Sofia Ramirez doing her best to hold her off and continuing to stay out. Amazingly, Eriksson's coming in for not just new tyres but also a little bit of mechanical work as well. Ramirez doing extremely well to hold second place here on worn and unfavourable tyres. She'll be coming at the end of this lap. McLaren not wanting to double stack. Her teammate Eriksson came out in 16th position there, so not ideal, but it will take her through to the end of the race, you would imagine. Which cannot be said for absolutely everyone here. Especially the top 9 or so will all have to pit again. Ramirez, one of them, is coming in now. Paisnen 3.5 seconds ahead of her as she jumps into the pits. So it is now Paisnen leading from Morel with Britta Pallison, of all drivers, in 3rd. Good to see her back challenging at the thick end of things. Nusrat Nasser in 4th. Hate Singh 5th. Aaron Barnes 6th. Aiden Velang 7th, Lucas Schweitzer 8th, Labriola with so far a double top 10 for Brixton Islanders in 9th, Zach Lucas down in 10th, but with newer tyres than many of the others around him. So, let's wait and see how this all plays out for our remaining 6 or 7 laps. Marty Paisnen will ride on board with for a little while now. He's been lapping extremely consistently, 5.5 seconds ahead of Veronique Morel. In these conditions, he is so good. That much better than pretty much anyone else in the grid, really. Britta Pallison driving extremely well in 3rd. And Nusrat Nasser in 4th, having had his share of incidents so far in this race. We'll follow this little crop of drivers for now, I think. Aiden Velang is chasing Aaron Barnes for 6th place. Velang looking to get his championship hopes back on track after a rough few races where he's DNF'd in 2 out of 3. He's not enjoying his America's leg. He's coming in, interestingly enough. I wonder whether he will opt for intermediates again or whether he'll go for some dry tyres. That looks like Hate Singh just ahead of him. No, intermediates again it is. And Hate Singh also coming out in intermediates. Who will be the first to go on to dry tyres, or will they just roll intermediates all the way through? Hard to say. Nusrat Nasser will be coming at the end of lap. Get those old intermediates off. He might be a candidate for that, in fact. Let's watch him, see whether he changes onto any dry tyre compounds. I would imagine he doesn't. Paisinen stopped as well, puts on new intermediates. If Marty Paisinen is putting on intermediates... Oh, Nasser has gone for the super softs. 4 laps remaining. Well, that's fascinating. Let's see if he can put those tyres to good work with some damp water on the track. Look at that though. Using ERS, deploying it, getting through to 14th. Let's see whether he can chase down the 2 Maple Street Motorsport cars are next up. And Nusrat Nasser is on the charge. Veronique Morel, meanwhile, I nearly missed this. 8 seconds in the pits. Look who's leading. Aaron Barnes for Boyko Shaggin Bunch is currently in first place. Veronique Morel putting on the Ultra Softs, interestingly enough. But Aaron Barnes leading the race ahead of Cecilia Labriola and Lucas Schweitzer. What a top 3 this would be. Teammate Zach Lucas in 4th, getting pressured by Marty Paisinen there. Ooh, and it's close. They're very close, and it looks like Schweitzer's going to be coming into the pit. Oh, great move! But Schweitzer's battling back. He's not giving that up easily. He's not... Oh, but he loses both positions. It sometimes happens, you know. You fight too much, and you lose 2 positions rather than 1. That is Paisinen complaining that he's on intermediates to his team boss there. We will travel with Barnes for a little while. Can he make it the remaining... No, he's coming in. He's coming in. If he's coming in, is Labriola staying out? She is. Paisinen's in 3rd. This is all set up perfectly for Marty Paisinen so far. Chelsea Lucchesi retires, meanwhile, a mechanical failure for the Maple Street Motorsports cars. Suboptimal stuff for them. We'll ride on board actually with Veronique Morel for a little while. Because she could be making some inroads as the track really dries out. And she's coming up to the back of Klein and Almers, who are now in 4th and 5th. Here comes Morel. They're going to be, well, the 2 Braun Cocktail cars are squabbling between them actually. But look at Morel. Look at the extra speed. She's grandstand side. And she's going to make it stick. Oh, and she's going to get both of them. She's got both of them in the couple of corners. Great work from Veronique Morel of 2-Stroke 2 Furious. Cecilia Labriola leads the race once again. Oh no, this is bringing back horrible flashbacks. For me at least. Labriola holding off Paisinen on a drying track. Brings back horrible memories of Sydney. But this is the final lap. Paisinen a 1.5 seconds behind her. Come on Marty, let her have this one. It was so cruel the last time out. Those tyres are horribly worn already. Zach Lucas in 3rd. Veronique Morel is catching him and all. Veronique Morel's going to get him. Actually, tell you what, Veronique Morel might catch the 2 of them ahead. I mean, it's not certain, but she's catching them in the rain of knots. Labriola, it's going to be a grandstand finish here. Morel, I think, is too far back. Labriola, though, no mistakes. If there's no mistakes, she wins this. She comes round the final few corners, and she takes the win for Brixton Islanders. Marty Paisinen 2nd, Veronique Morel 3rd, Zach Lucas 4th, 16 Almers in 5th, just about ahead of Britta Pallison. What a day for Brixton Islanders, 1st and 6th. Nusrat Nasser 7th with his gutsy tyre choice call. Havana Eriksson happy to finish in the top 8, I think. Aaron Barnes, who briefly led, down in 9th. Naomi Klein 10th. Another good race, actually, for Boyko Shaggin Bunch here. 4th and 9th are not to be sniffed at. A very bad day for our former, well, presumably former, Constructors' Championship leaders, Maple Street Motorsport, who have 1 car finish, and it's Hei Singh down in 13th. We'll see you in time for the results. Scrutineering has given us a penalty for Hei Singh. It's given us a penalty for Hei Singh. He's down to 15th. Despite getting the fastest lap, he's lost as many points as he made from that fastest lap. with an illegal putt. Well, that won't help the doubters saying Maple Street Motorsports cheated their way to a win earlier in the season. But this will make no difference to the victorious Brixton Islanders. Cecilia Labriola qualified well and drove superbly to take the win. Marty Payson will be happy with second place, you'd imagine. Veronique Morel happy with her third as well. A unique podium. The Drivers' Championship standings suddenly get very interesting. Hate Singh still leading, but only 4 points ahead of Marty Payson and 10 ahead of Morel, 11 ahead of Lucas. As for the teams, Two Stroke Two Furious retake the lead, 5 points ahead of Maple Street Motorsports, 13 ahead of Braun Cocktail. Thank you for joining us. We will see you next week, where we'll be in Doha for the first of our 2 races in the Middle East. Thank you very much.